Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in, everybody. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery here on a tipsy Tuesday here in no man's land. Look, we already got guys on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, all right? They're already calling in. They're already ready to talk a little bit about last night's football game. Some people wanted to think that there wasn't a game going on. Other people, like myself, like the Bandiman, like the rest of the studio, as much as we didn't want to believe that there was a game going on after Alabama's season has come to an end, there's still a game. There's still a game. National championship hit last night, and let's just say it was pretty much all of what we expected and more. Me and Bandy, we already threw out our picks. I had to change mine around a few times because literally Bandy, Steve, and myself all had almost the exact same score prediction. That didn't come true. The person who got the closest, though, was the Tom Abraham with 24-13. That was his score. Michigan winning it. Obviously, there was a last-minute touchdown going on for Michigan, and then it all kind of went out of, it got wacky at the end. But you know what? We were already turning off the TVs, unless you were a Michigan fan, which we have. Do we have two of them on? We got two of them on the hotline right now. So I guess we'll get into the first one. Is it Wolverine Chad first, or is it going to be Natty Danny? Natty Dan. What's up, man? I know you're pretty happy.
Well, I'm extremely happy, but this is almost like a scenario of a 97 championship.
Mm-hmm.
I moved down here in 97, and when we won the championship, I'm running up and down the street with the Michigan flag. And I'll be honest with you, fellas, and I got the friend I'm working with today. He says to me, you know what, we really don't care.
I mean, you talk about it like the Rose Bowl was really the national championship for you guys. I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, Alabama was able to hold Michigan a little bit closer. That seems like it was the finale,
I know. You know what? And I did sound like that. And you know what? Sincerely, yes, I did. It does mean a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was just like, icing on the cake. That's all it really was. Setting records and rushing. The way we started, someone like Edwards just showed up, and he needed to show up. And those big runs like that, and I thought, well, it's going to be a blowout. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't, and I'm going, oh my gosh, and then at the end we've kind of pulled away. But I was a little nervous there. That a heck of a quarterback Washington has, and boy, I tell you what, I guarantee you, he's probably still hasn't got out of bed or maybe he can't because we beat him up pretty good.
Yeah, Michigan definitely was showing them the defensive game that they've been really holding on to all season long. I mean, both Dylan Johnson and Michael Penix Jr. were just fighting through just nonstop barrages from that defensive line. And on top of that, I mean, those linebackers coming in like a rocket. It was just a tough game for those two. And obviously, rushing game for Washington wasn't going to be one of those concerns that Michigan had to worry about too much.
No.
But they were also able to hold the passing game. It was almost like there was really nothing Washington could do. Although it was close, and it was closer than what the score says, Michigan really was able to play the football that they've been playing all season long. And at the end of the day, it just wore Washington down to the point where they could not do anything.
Well, of course, I watched it with friends and family, and watching it with my son, which is going to be hopefully next up to call, which is on the line there. Him and I, it was a very, really, really rewarding moment. I never got a chance to do that with my dad.
Yeah.
And I told my oldest grandson, Aiden, I said, listen, we're not trying to throw this in your face because he's a Bama fan. And I said, this is something that him and I, we wait a long time between championships, unlike Alabama does. Which, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's because of Nick Saban. But I said, this is what it means to your father and I. And I apologize. I say, listen, please don't think that I'm throwing it in your face, which I'm not. This is something that we share between my son and I, and I'm very grateful. And I wish I could have done that with my father. But with that said, I do have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Now, I don't know how we were doing before the game started, but how did wacky underdog picks come out?
Well, I'm glad you led us to that one because Wolverine Dan, Natty Dan, you have officially won the wacky underdog picks for this football season. So congratulations. Bandy, set up that little sounder. Go for it. Good stuff. Natty Dan, that's the strawberry on top of the icing, on top of the cake. Here's your applause. There you go.
Well,
Good
fine.
stuff.
I guess that means I guess there's some kind of award involved in this or whatever.
Yeah, Gunner's Landing. You guys, you and your son probably go out there, have a great little time. That could be the after party to the national championship. Go and celebrate.
Cart fees included. Those are the killer too.
Yeah.
Well, I know where you're located. I can either do that or you can just drive by my house and put them in the mailbox.
I might hand deliver it because this is our first giveaway we've actually done, so it's definitely going to be a special one. But we'll keep in touch with you on that, whether you want to come by here or not. But
I'll leave the floor to my son and let him do what he does.
All right.
My son he's done it. My son is that child that's done everything I've ever told him to do. And because I made mistakes and I didn't make sure he didn't. And he's a humble guy, and I'm very proud of him. And I always told him, I said, when you go to work, there's nobody better than you. You just go in there and do your job and don't worry about nobody else. And he's been very successful, and I'm very proud of him, and my daughter also.
Good stuff.
So with that said, I'll let Wolverine Chad get on there. I'm sorry. Natty Chatty.
No. We only did one name.
I see it.
Good stuff. Natty Dan is his official name until, I'm going to say until the season starts, until the next football season starts. At least football starts being played. Maybe not in spring, but actually the regular season. But
yeah, you get one name per national championship. Right now, we're on one. We get another one.
Yeah.
We got another name for it.
Yeah, Natty Chad has not been declared to us, so we'll just keep calling him Wolverine Chad because now that name is kind of opened up so less people can get confused. So put him in here. We don't have all day, but, you can talk about it and give us all of your happiness because I know you're feeling some type of way. Chad, how you doing, man?
Dreams do come true. They
Yes,
can
sir.
happen to you. Yeah, I will accept Natty Chatty up until the season starts as my new name. I think if that's a fair game with you guys, I think you guys are gentlemen. I'm a fellow UH grad, so I think we should go for it.
That's the thing. That's what makes it tough.
You're pulling a UAH chain.
Yeah. It's really tough. Okay, maybe I can make an exception just because of that UAH thing, but I was already going out on a limb to call Wolverine Dan Natty Dan. It's already screwing with my head. I'm so used to saying its other name. But kind of just talk about your experience last night, dude. I know it's a big time for you guys.
Oh, it was an amazing time. So 303 most rushing yards in the CFP BSCS title game, and that's actually 2 more yards than total yards for Washington at 301. And we are now officially the first team to allow less than 25 points in all 15 games. That's Minnesota 120 years ago.
Jeez.
So there's your Natty Chatty stats of the day.
Love it.
I just want to thank my dad. It's our first road game. We got to go to Nebraska this year. I got to go see the Big Ten Championship with my mom and my son, and that was his first game, so we got to go to Big Ten Fan Fest, get on TV, throw the football, do the 40-yard dash, all those good things. And then finally, I lastly want to thank one Army guy to one Marine. I want to thank Connor Stallions. He gave me 2 tickets for Arkansas and Ole Miss this year. Seen Ole Miss in September, Arkansas in October. And I think for me, as a fan, knowing that, enjoying the experience, enjoying the season's been great, but knowing that you had a part in it, helping out the team with Connor and what he did for me, I think was a great experience. That's all I got to say. There's an investigation going on, but go Blue, roll Tide, go UH. I'll see you guys later.
Good stuff.
Hey, have a good one, Wolverine Chad.
Natty Chad. We'll say that until until we consider football season back. But good stuff. I don't know if he's serious.
We got spring football right around the corner.
I have no idea if he's serious about the whole Connor Stallions thing. But you know what? It's funny. I love the way that he jokes about that. But it is a big win for not only Michigan but for the Big Ten as well because this is the final 4-team playoff, and this is the first time since the first 4-team playoff that a Big Ten team has won the national championship. It goes all the way back to Ohio State back in 2014. So 10, we get 10 4-team championships, and now we move on to the 12-team, which is going to be so much fun. I got to admit, it's going to be so much fun. I know it might be too many teams, Bandy.
Too many teams?
But I don't think that's the case. I think it's just going to be a lot of fun football, a few extra games, and hey, it's going to mean just a little bit more.
I think it's a little too many.
That's fine. You can think that.
Two major things from last night, because a clip just popped up on my feed that reminded me of it.
Throw it at us.
It's clear where the genes run in the Harbaugh family.
Oh my gosh,
with his dad. Like, it is like a one-for-one copy.
They all look the same.
But second,
okay,
one major criticism.
All right, what's up?
Why'd he dodge the douse?
He slightly dodged the douse.
He did not slightly dodge it. He full on jumped out of the way.
Well,
he was not getting doused.
He should have taken it. I mean, guys,
it was the last football playoff. Take the douse.
Guys who win
the Gatorade,
the Duke's Mayo Bowl, are taking freaking mayo on the face. Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, you look over at these guys winning national championships. I mean, we all know Jim Harbaugh's always in the zone. Okay, you saw whenever John came up to him pre-game and he was in the zone. He was down on his, he was leaning on his knees and stuff like that. And then he just instantly was caught off guard by John. It was a nice little scene. But yeah, you got to take that douse though. That's the one thing.
You got to take the douse
full on.
In the last national championship of the 14 playoff.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge thing. It was his third playoff appearance. So I mean, in the last 3 seasons. So it's a big stuff
just
for
disappointed.
him. Finally pushes through to get that national championship. So it's great to see that. But now we move forward to the new college football. And Bandy, you were talking about some of this stuff that upset you. We're going to get into this next segment. We're going to be talking with one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone. I don't even know. Was that Joe? Who called in right there just a second ago, Bandy? Who is that?
We got Jeremy on the line.
Oh, Jeremy's on the line. Okay, we'll have to get him in on the next segment before we get into our conversation with one Mr. Joe Hunk. So, Bandy, we got some things to talk about. I didn't see an NCAA 24 trailer, and everybody's pissed
That's
off.
the other major criticism. I was waiting all night for a trailer.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about that.
Nothing.
And more when we come back here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do afterpaint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
The End Zone Sports Bar has done it again. This time, they're bringing their jumbo wings, handcrafted burgers, Tex-Mex, and New York-style pizza to the Midtown District with their new location on McMurtry Drive Northwest opposite the Target Plaza. Tuesdays at the End Zone means half-price burgers, and Wednesday is $1 jumbo wings all day long. The End Zone also features Sunday ticket for all your NFL viewing. The newest End Zone Sports Bar in the Midtown District on McMurtry near the Target Plaza. Get in the End Zone.
Southern Fidelity Mortgage. Think of them as a loan for everyone, offering more products than anyone else and the guaranteed lowest rates and costs in town. Of the 2,000 loans that Southern Fidelity Mortgage has pre-approved over the last 10 years, all but one have closed. That's unprecedented in the banking business. For FHA, VA, rural development, and conventional mortgages, for the best mortgage experience in town, it's Southern Fidelity Mortgage.
Call Southern Fidelity Mortgage Company at 256-656-5936.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find him online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're really going to begin to quiet down as we head into the overnight early into your Wednesday morning. Wednesday's going to start off on the cooler end of the spectrum. Looks like we're going to start the day in the low and mid-30s. A partly sunny sky through Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-40s, dropping into the mid-30s through the overnight and early into your Thursday morning. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday afternoon. Really is going to be a fantastic day across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s, dropping into the mid-40s through the overnight. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky on Friday afternoon. Friday also brings about our next opportunity for rain to the Tennessee Valley. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
Hello and welcome back in. John Abraham, Cap Cool alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery here on a Tipsy Tuesday in No Man's Land. Why is it called No Man's Land? Oh, because this is where all the crap goes down. I don't know. It's going to get old one of these days, but so far I still like that nickname. Either way, you guys can call into the show, but not just yet. We will get into your call, Jeremy. I really want to get into what you got to say, but we will hop in with one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone just to get a little bit more intel, not only on the national championship, but on Nashville sports teams. Tennessee's having a lot of questions about their head coach moving forward, their whole team moving forward, and the Tennessee Vols also looking to try and rebound going into the new season. So, to help us kind of talk about that is one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. Joe, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, minus the fact I need to know when the game drops.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sitting here playing Madden right now,
Yeah.
and I just beat some cookie man on a mutt game. I need to know when the college football game is coming out. Can somebody please give me that information?
I mean,
it's supposed to come out this summer.
It caught us all off guard. I mean, we were supposed to finally get a trailer, and then nothing happened. The game goes by. A lot of people watched the game just for that trailer, and they did not get it. But hey,
no, I think
strategic.
I mean, look, it's historically, back when you guys were probably still in middle school, this game normally came out like the end of July. Was kind of like it was around that last week of July because they'd always kind of get it out right before fall camp started. And so you'd have a few weeks of that, and then you would get the Madden game like right before the season started.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say late July. But, man, I need to know this stuff, man. I got video game streams I'm preparing. I've got meetings I've got to have. I've got to talk to the University of Tennessee to let me do a video game stream for them. Guys, there's a lot of crap that's connected to this, and we kind of need to know when this game drops.
For sure. I mean, two signs are pointing us on to me. I mean, with this, we're 5 months out. Like, if you're saying late July, like that's what we're thinking. We're about 5 months out from that. We have not seen any kind of gameplay. So, I mean, this might end up being delayed until even next year, till 2025.
No. We have gameplay. The gameplay's not the thing that I want to see. I just need the drug. Look, the gameplay, again, going back to historically, gameplay for the NCAA football game was always the previous season's Madden. Like, it always was.
It seemed like that, yeah.
Madden looked like the previous year, that is what the gameplay was. So right now, just go fire up your Madden like I've got on right now as I'm sitting here playing Mutt, and that is what this game is going to look like whenever it does drop. It's going to look absolutely amazing.
It's going to look great. And with all the new additions to college football, I mean, throwing that stuff in it might be, I mean, if they do it correctly, it could possibly be one of the best games that EA drops, I would say, ever. And that's saying a lot because they've dropped some great games just outside of the EA Sports brand. But I'm saying as a whole, EA could drop one of the best games and definitely the best sporting games. And we need to know when it comes out because I personally would like to do some streams on the WZZN TV world as well. I mean, I think it'd be fun. Me and Bandy doing a little bit of back and forth.
And look, whenever I play as Auburn, I just need to go ahead and let Peyton Thorne know that he can enter the transfer portal. I can just go ahead and let that be known so that I can work on getting another quarterback instead of that garbage that Auburn had underneath center. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to know about.
Yeah, like, please, let there be a no-logic transfer portal so I can just be the head coach of, like, a D2 school and get every 5-star recruit on the book. Just have an entire football team made up of the top 100 class.
You're over here wanting to play as A&M like it's 2003 and you're wanting to play as A&M and try to get them to the national championship.
Of course I did that every time
Talking
on
about
NCAA 14.
Alabama A&M or Florida A&M?
I did it with Akron.
Jeez, you did it Akron? I did MTSU. I was going with MTSU whenever I went with those stretch of
Some
teams.
Alabama State stuff.
Put in all the
come
teams.
on.
I want them to put in every single one of the teams. So
I want Calhoun to be in there.
I want to play as the Bear Browns or the Brown Bears or whatever they're called over there in the Ivy League. But
you want to go with some Ivy League just so you can play Harvard, Yale.
Yes,
somewhere.
I mean, you got to throw in those ones as well. I know it's a tough question or it's a tough task to ask because of all this NIL stuff and all that jazz. But I mean, still. I think it would be awesome, but it's definitely looking
Was there
unlikely.
any better feeling than breaking every school record in the first season?
No, there wasn't.
No, absolutely not. Because I mean, that was the great thing about the game is you could go in with a totally different offense and just absolutely destroy everything. Like right now, like as I've been talking to you guys, I went over and I've started a dynasty now or a franchise with the Titans, and I have like their final ratings of the regular season on here. And so like I've got Will Levis already has 350 yards passing just in this game I'm playing right now, and I'm just now starting the third quarter. I'm like, guys, this is now easy. Yeah. Like we could totally destroy all sorts of records in these video games now with that. But I mean, the game itself was fun. I mean, it actually was. And I mean, Michigan had an amazing game plan going into it but the whole idea was that Washington couldn't stop Michigan's run attack.
Yeah.
Like they just couldn't.
So, I mean,
there was no stopping that. And then what I love is I don't know what version of the game you guys watched. If you watched the normal, if you watched like the Pat McAfee version, whatever it was. But I watched the Skycam version.
Oh.
And it wasn't it wasn't by choice. It was just I'm in my office like I am right now as I'm talking to you guys. I turn my TV on and it says, would you like to watch this game in 4K? And I said, all right, cool. I'll watch it in 4K. And so I hit the 4K button, and the Skyview camera is the 4K version because it's the ESPN 4K Skycam. And so it was, GMAC was on the call, and, so I didn't get Herbie or anything like that. I had GMAC, and I'm sitting here watching it. But for anybody that's like me that just sat here through the first 5 minutes and we're talking about NCAA football and Madden, that's what it looked like. Like it looked like I was watching Madden, and I'm just going, oh, okay, cool. Like halfway through the third quarter, I started going, all right, he's dropping back. Here's the passing route. I'd be going to X right there down at the bottom. that tight end that's going right across the middle. Go ahead and throw it to him. Like all that. That being said, Michael Penix Jr. in that last interception, I have no clue where you were thinking you were throwing that to because you threw it to 5 Michigan players. There were 5.
Yeah,
you had one receiver there and 5 Michigan players. What on earth were you thinking?
He was busy getting stuffed by that entire defense.
Yeah, and I don't even know how he got 45 passes off. I'm going to be honest. It did not seem like that last night with the amount of pressure that he was getting from that defense.
No, but he had to because that was the only way that they were going to try to do anything against Michigan because Michigan did the one thing that you can't do against Michigan is they got up early and they have a running attack. Mm-hmm. Like the moment that they got up so big because they were busting off these big runs, it was over.
Yeah.
It was. I don't care that they came back and made it 17-10. Like at that point in time, it was over because they couldn't stop the running attack.
Yeah.
It was done with.
And for J.J. McCarthy, I mean, really, you look at his stat line, and I mean, he was 10 for 18. He was 148 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's what this kid has just needed to do is just play consistent, play safe. And maybe every once in a while go for a little scramble. But, I mean, looking at Blake Corum and Edwards, I mean, the amount of yards that they got. Edwards in the first, 2 minutes of the game, I mean, he was able to put up 100 yards nearly. And 2 touchdowns for both of these guys apiece. And then you just look down at Michael Penix Jr., what he was trying to do. I mean, he really was struggling to just get around. And, I mean, it did not help that Dylan Johnson was pretty much injured the entire way through. But, hey, kudos to him for playing through it. It got to the point where I was like, this guy's just getting punished out there, though. Yeah. I was a little scared for his well-being.
You got to go to the opposite end of the ball, and you got Blake Corum averaging 6 yards a carry. It's as good as he is.
Averaging 6, he averaged 94 or something after the first carry. I mean, seriously.
That was it.
I hadn't even crossed the Alabama state line yet, and I was already getting Corum busted off like a 94-yard run just before the start of the game. I didn't even know they kicked off
His
yet.
long was 59, all right, but Edwards has 2 that were up over 40 yards. So, I mean, it's insane to see how many records were either broken or nearly broken to these running backs, because I think out of the longest runs for touchdowns in, like, the CFP, I know that right now Edwards has 2 of them, I believe, behind. Was it Derrick Henry that has the number 1? I think it is 55 or something. Yeesh.
But I will say, with the way we're talking about this game, like, if you didn't watch it last night, you think just Michigan absolutely blew them out, like, the entire way through. But I mean, Washington was able to stay competitive, be within a score up until the start of the fourth.
But they sure did dominate them.
Oh, yeah, they did dominate them.
They dominated.
Yeah. Washington just couldn't find that one explosive play to just get the momentum back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big difference between blowing them out and dominating them, because you can sit here and say, this game was a lot closer than that 45-6 score. Like, it really, really was. Like, they were with them. They just got into a situation where they had to go for it, and they couldn't kick field goals, and that's the reason why they only scored more than 6. And then you can also look at a 17-9 ball game and go, bro, I don't care what the score is. You knew when they got up by 7, it was over.
Yeah.
It was just over.
Like, that exhaustion was clear in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, because, look, in Washington, this is what you get for 9 games next year. You get this kind of stuff. Because now you've got to see this every single game that Washington's going to be playing in. And by the way, and I don't know if you guys know this, because I've kind of been thinking about this the past few days. What happens with the Rose Bowl tie-ins?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was kind of thinking of.
Everybody's talked about the Rose Bowl, and we need to have the national championship there, blah blah blah. But what happens to that whole Pac-12 Big Ten tie-in? Like, I still haven't heard about what they're going to be doing. Is this now going to be a Big Ten Mountain West tie-in? Like,
It can't be. That would just throw it out the window. I mean, the Rose Bowl, everybody's been questioning what's going to happen with it moving forward. I would say for the last, decade, honestly. But, I mean, it gets to the point where Pac-12 is gone. The Big 12 is gone, or pretty much just not really competitive enough to where they could win one of these national championships, just because, I mean, you see the way that they are. Everybody's moving around. Texas and Oklahoma are in the SEC. So it's going to have to change. But now we look out west and we're thinking, well, since the Pac-12, the biggest Western Conference, is just completely gone, I mean, what type of implications should this game even have to it moving forward?
Could you turn it into a Big Ten?
I could tell you a few places the Rose Bowl could stick their roses. That's just me. I mean, I think that the most pretentious group of people that have zero clue about their importance and what their actual level of importance is to the college football world, because they are so stuck up their own butts that they don't realize that they have no significant value whatsoever to this sport. Because, look, I get how beautiful the Rose Bowl is. It is. I know a lot of Alabama fans and Auburn fans have been there over the last 10 years. The biggest problem with it is you still haven't upgraded the stadium since probably the first time Alabama played in that game back in the 1912.
It's iconic.
It is iconic.
It can be iconic, but how about you give me more than one way to get to a section?
Yeah.
How about that? How about you give me a little bit of parking instead of me having to worry about backing up too quickly onto the green of the 9th hole at the golf course that you have to park on.
Yeah.
How about you upgrade some of that stuff, okay? I don't care about it. The mountains are beautiful, and the fact that you're so pretentious that we need to make sure the game kicks off at 3 p.m. so that we can get one shot of some mountains at some point in time. No, you're not that important. You're just not, okay? Look, the only reason people even know what the Rose Bowl is because you have to be a part of the college football playoff now. Nobody cares about you. Yeah. Your value in this world is not what you think it is. Yeah. And I mean, that's why their importance of this. I don't care one bit if we never go back to the Rose Bowl. I just don't. I mean, it's a beautiful stadium, but I don't like dealing with their pretentious crap.
Yeah, I mean, I love the history behind it, Michigan, USC, all of those great games. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, you couldn't even...
California's just annoying.
California in general is just kind of annoying. But if you just, like, look at it, I mean, could you make it a college football Hall of Fame venue where it's like, this is where the first game of the season is played? No, you can't do that. Because the College Football Hall of Fame is in Atlanta. You cannot do that. So it'd be all the way scattered throughout the country. It's like, where is it going to have a place, okay? Could it be a continued playoff spot? Well, it's just going to be another playoff venue. It doesn't have any more intricacy than, I would say, the Cotton Bowl in Houston or something like that. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, again, and the playoff next year is expanding. I know you guys are talking about it. I can't wait for that very first playoff game that is going to be after the first rounds, where we have these first round matchups and it's going to be all these teams at their home stadiums and everybody's going to talk about how amazing it is. And then the very next week you're going to go in and you're going to go to a half full bowl game because we got to make sure these bowls are still involved. And, just it's stupid stuff like that are just like every single thing that the NFL does right, college football just goes, you know what? That's working for them. So let's do the opposite. I think that's what we should do.
Except for
no. It's what they're doing is working. Let's try to do what they're doing, but worse.
Yeah, there's that as well. I mean, they try to implement the commercials after every single kickoff as well, and that's another thing that a lot of people are just pissed off. That's a thing that NFL does. Keep it out of our college football world.
It is so annoying in both.
As we see John Harbaugh adjust his glasses on the sidelines, we'll be back in 30 seconds with this break from Preparation H. That's the kind of crap that you're getting now, and I'm just like, bro, I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, you ready for another?
You know what was great? Here's the other thing that was great about you guys. I'm telling you, here's great. You know how many commercials I watched last night?
How many?
0.
Hey.
You know how much halftime analysis I watched last night? 0.
Okay.
And the reason is because there wasn't any on the Skycam.
Oh.
They literally just had the ambiance of what was going on in the stadium.
Okay.
It was so much fun. It was so much. Because I'm sitting there, next thing you know, I'm hearing like Highway to Hell and like Back in Black and some Imagine Dragons.
Heck yeah.
Some fans like, choose helmet number 2 to hit the footballs on number 2. I loved that more than I loved seeing all the stupid Dr. Pepper commercials of, don't go there, 13's unlucky, don't walk underneath the ladder, don't go underneath that, it's a black cat.
The transfer portal, one.
Yeah, you ready for another Fansville commercial?
The full body deodorant? I mean, I don't need to see that. I want the NCAA. Oh, you know what? Forget about it. Joe, that's all the time we got for you. We actually went over, but
I don't mind the Terry Crews Old Spice commercial.
That was a good one. But we appreciate you hopping on with us. We always love whenever we get to talk with you. Let the people know where they can find you and then get out of here.
At Joe Hunk, just all you gotta do, go wherever you are social media wise, search me at Joe Hunk, and I love you guys. Bye.
Love you too. Good stuff. We gotta hop into a break. When we come back, we're gonna get into your phone calls. 256-5764 97.7 is the number to get in. That's the number on the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one, and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand-new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 2.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends January 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Hello and welcome back to the Morning Blitz, presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online to fill out your free quote today. You can find them at FlemingHSV.com. And I know after last night's storm, some of those roofs might have 1 or 2 less, what are they, shackles? They're not shackles.
Shingles?
Shingles. I
Maybe?
think they're shingles. Shackles are what go around.
The guys at Fleming will know.
Yeah, the guys at Fleming will know. Just tell them, hey, I need my roof repaired or completely fixed, and they will show up and get that job done for you. We got a guy that's been waiting on the hotline, and we're going to get into his conversation right now. It's one Mr. Jeremy. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Having a good morning.
Yeah, we're having a good one. We're having a good one.
I had an eventful one.
Good. Well, I can give you an update on why you didn't see NCAA last night, why you didn't see the game.
Okay, a little exclusive access. What's up?
They have not signed a contract with all the schools yet that are going to be in the game. I think Clemson and Notre Dame are still 2 holdouts, and I think there's a few others that they're working on, but they have to get. They want everybody in the game, and there's some schools that are holding out, and I think that's going to happen sometime this week or next week, that they're going to finally get them taken care of.
Well, let's hope so, but we appreciate those details coming in. I mean, we know that, it's going to be a lot more difficult, I'd say, for these college football games to come out because of all these NIL deals. And then we also think of which colleges are going to get left out if it gets down to those Ivy League schools. I mean, you hate to see those ones out, but, I mean, if they're not able to get them in, we're still happy to just get, like, the big, SEC, ACC, maybe throw in the Pac-2. I mean, we got to have those guys at least.
Maybe throw in some D2 schools as well?
Maybe.
Well, and then what I've read is that you're going to see the Ivy League.
Okay.
And you're going to see the North Dakota States and the Montanas in this game
Nice.
because of the teams that may not be in it.
Oh.
Because of some of those upper schools that are not going to be in it.
I gotcha.
That you're probably going to be able to see those other schools. And that's what I want. I want all that. I remember back in the day when NCAA football, you could play.
Yes.
They had two different ones. You could play as Alabama A&M, or you could play as, you could just pick FBS or FCS,
Yeah.
and you could play in either or. And then they got rid of that, and you started playing like the West Rattlers.
Yeah,
You know, they had just it was or the Southeast. Whatever they were, mountain climbers. But it was I liked it when you had those lower schools and stuff in there, and But one of the other things I wanted to ask you guys about, I wanted to ask y'all about this Pat McAfee thing that's going on right now. How do y'all feel about him calling out management at ESPN about sabotaging him? And then this past Saturday at the Colts game, a day after talking about it and calling the guy out, take a picture with the guy's boss at the Indianapolis Colts game. I mean, Pat McAfee don't care.
No, yeah.
He really doesn't. He knows, hey, I'm entertaining. And if you guys want to fire me, guess what? My show's going to continue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still going to do my show. And then he's got WWE to fall back on because he knows that he can go there and be an announcer, and they'll put him behind that booth anytime he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Because he's interesting. A lot of people hate Pat McAfee. I'm not one of them.
No.
A lot of people my age, I'm 45, and I've got a lot of front porch, get off my yard friends. And I'm like, when did we get that old that we're becoming that? But like, I love Pat McAfee. I thought that a few years ago, before the pandemic, when him and Matt Berry were doing Thursday night football, that made me watch Thursday night college football on ESPN again.
Oh yeah,
because I wanted to hear Pat McAfee. I wanted to hear what he had to say because one, he's a player. He played the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he may have been a punter, but he shows his football intellect about how smart he was.
Oh yeah,
and that was to be a punter. And so I don't know if what's going to happen with this, but to me it's showing a lot of these other people at ESPN, hey, I don't have to be a mindless drone to what I'm being told. I can actually show my personality, which to me, I feel like he's the second coming of Dan Patrick because Dan Patrick was that same way when he first got started at ESPN.
Yeah,
he did that.
I totally agree on, Pat McAfee. He really can do really whatever he wants. He's obviously dropped some F-bombs on his show and stuff like that.
They got a whole counter for it.
And that just counts. That just comes with it because you're trying to transition to a broader audience. And I understand where it comes from, but I mean, they're still not going to get rid of this guy until something really happens or he leaves himself. Because again, he has so much to fall back on if anything does happen, and I mean, his name is already out there to the extent that everybody knows him. So they're going to keep listening to him, whether he's on ESPN or whether he's off ESPN. I think a lot of people honestly don't like him because the fact that he chose that ESPN job. But if whether or not he's in or out, we all know where his mind lies. And honestly, it seems like it's a little bit more outside of ESPN's grasp. I
like a dude like that though, because the way he was talking about him on air, literally calling his boss a rat on air, which is crazy to think about. But when you got a guy like that on a national level, who's willing to talk that openly about what's going on and kind of give the listeners and watchers, including myself, an inside look, kind of what's going on behind the scenes at ESPN, it's more than appreciated.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else?
Hey, and don't be surprised too if let's tie in the NCAA college football 24 or 25, whatever they announce it. Don't be surprised if the announcement don't come from him on his show when the game's coming out. And also added to that, don't be surprised if Pat McAfee don't have some kind of part in the game.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I would love that. That would definitely make for an even greater experience. But good stuff, Jeremy. We appreciate you holding for us and calling in, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good one. And, hey, before the end of this year, I hope some of my music becomes bumper music leading back in from commercials.
Oh, for
Just
sure.
saying.
For sure. Hey, you'll have to tell the Bandiman. He'll write them down, and we'll get them next time, all right?
Awesome, man. I'll let him know.
All right.
Appreciate it, guys.
Awesome.
Y'all have a good one.
Good
Hey,
stuff.
You too, Jeremy.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, if he was in the NCAA 24 game, 25, whatever the heck it's going to be, I think it would be amazing. And you know what? I'll wait I would sacrifice another year, all right, to finally get the game as long as it's the game that we want. If it's another Madden game, though, with just a reskin, that's not what we want, EA. Change it up a bit, give us exactly what we want, and we'll wait as long as you need us to.
Hey, there's a famous quote. A delayed game is bad for a short time.
Yep.
A rush game is bad forever.
Cyberpunk. Until it got good. Until it got good.
Yeah, until it got good.
that's the world we live in.
That's probably the worst one you could have picked.
If we were in a different day and age, a rushed game, yes, would be a horrible one because it would be rushed and nobody would ever do anything to fix it. That's just, where we're at now, though, where we can get the games updated. But whatever. We got to move on. We got to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to finish out this show, and then we're going to get into a Wacky Wednesday tomorrow with some special guests. That's all coming up here on The Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgating. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Work injuries happen in Alabama all the time, whether it's an accident at work, getting injured, lifting heavy objects, hurting your hands on a machine, or just performing the same movement over and over until your body breaks down. But when it happens, there's only one law firm to call in Alabama. That's Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
No way. No way. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is confirmed by Josh Hutcherson. Some kids are going to be very happy. Either way.
Did you see the first one?
I did see the first one.
Welcome back to the Morning Blitz, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back. We've had a lot of fun on this episode, obviously.
First one's pretty good.
Yeah, first one's pretty good. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's whatever you want to say. I'd rather, have a NCAA live-action movie. Oh, wait, we got that last night. We finished up the NCAA season.
That's a quarterback show on Netflix.
The football season has come to an end, at least in the college realm, but it's just now getting started as well as we look forward to 2024. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff. You guys can still get in on the show, 256-5764.
97.7.
And also, if you guys want to advertise on the show or any one of our shows, you can call that number, talk with either Bandy, Chad, or any of the guys in the studio, and you can hook something up. We'd love to have you guys on the show, and we appreciate all of the sponsors we have throughout all of the ESPN world. You guys can also watch us over on WZZN TV on YouTube, where we have a lot of fun. You can see all of the different outfits me and the Bandiman wear. I like to rock with this one every once in a while. I don't even know what the Arizona Coyotes are doing right now, Bandy, but I will say they are still one of my favorite teams despite them being so bad. I'm going to guess...
I think the people of Arizona are still trying to make them not a team anymore.
I hate that for them, but I'm going to guess that the Coyotes are probably around 500, very average team. Bandy, can you look into that for me? I know.
I'll look into it. I do know that the governor is like, we got to have the Coyotes bad. Like, the Coyotes are a staple. The people of Arizona are just kind of like, do we really need the Coyotes?
How many people fit in that arena again? Like 9,000? Either way, I also wanted to finish off today's show by saying, hey, if you're a part of the ACC, look, congratulations. You were able to make it to the college football championship last night in the form of the refs, who, I will say, they didn't dictate the game, but they missed a few calls. They were playing very loosely. And, there were a few holding calls I would have said, maybe throw that out there. Maybe a few pass interferences, maybe throw a flag or something like that. But it didn't dictate the game. Michigan was going to win regardless. And we think back to our predictions that we threw out there. I was so torn. I was so back and forth. But when it comes down to it, you think about the Pac-12. Defense really does win games. And the Pac-12 is something that really is just defense void.
Well, yeah,
it's the defensive void right there.
It's nowhere to be found.
So Washington, having one of the better defenses in that conference, still did not hold a candle to that Michigan front as well as Michigan's defense because it is 10 times better. But now we can look forward to next year when Washington is in the Big Ten, and maybe the recruiting will be a little bit better because they had no 5 stars on their team while Michigan was running home with a bunch of their top recruits. Very fun football season. We're glad you guys joined us with it. Again, Wolverine Dan gets number 1 in the Wacky Underdog picks, but don't worry, we're going to have a lot more giveaways coming up. Thank you guys very much for listening with us. For me and the Bandiman, we'll be back in 22 hours here on The Morning Blitz.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation